Well, first go to my office real quick, because one thing I need to do before I leave is a very, very important thing.
Bill absolutely treats everyone with kindness and accommodation.
I got beer, I gotta get cold, because you never know when someone's gonna stop by and visit.
If I had to use one word to describe Bill, it would be unflappable.
I will just put a couple in so you get an idea what we're gonna do, but that also won't come up. That happens every once in a while in this one.
Everything that he does extremely well, and always in the background.
Okay, here we go.
If you wanted to put a face to the University of Portland, Bill's would be the most perfect one to do. And all its machinations, for the amount of time that he's been here, you'd have to have a lot of photos so people would know, who am I talking about?
I had 4 main presidents and transitional presidents in between, so it's 4 plus at least 2. That makes it probably close to 6, I guess. And still have relationships with each one of them except Father Thomas through prayer, but all the other ones I still remain in contact. And they still come by campus. Where baseball is currently was my office.
Bill, in working with students, he is the best example to them to connect with people, to provide that outreach, that greeting.
And I had a lot of student workers helping me in those days.
Every time I look around, Bill is always there. He's always behind the scenes, talking to people, making them relax.
This is also the hallway that famous people came down. The Dalai Lama came down here, President Bush came down here, George W. Bush. We had Bobby Dylan. Bob Dylan came down here. We had Faith Hill coming down this corridor. We've had basketball teams come down this corridor. Stephen Hawking came down this corridor. Jane Goodall came down this corridor.
He's one of the most humble men you've ever met.
I never took a picture with any of those people.
I always felt very comfortable when he was on site that anything that would come about would be well taken care of.
We've done galas, we've done presidential visits, we've done huge things before, but I think it all boils down to that one-on-one you have with a student and or a group of students.
I call him the original option man. Option 1 isn't working, go to 2, 3, 4, whatever it takes, go there and get there.
This is where I did my first summer outdoor commencement, was out here. We did it for 12 years and we had 2 rainouts. And when we had a rainout, meant we moved into the Child Center.
Bill exemplifies what it really means to be a very strong Christian, a very strong Catholic.
I always walked through here on my way from one point on campus to the other point on campus, and I was making a point to come by and just a little tap right here as one of the people listening to Jesus tell his stories.
Bill's understanding of the mission of the university is so strong that the first time I talked to him, I thought he was a priest.
So Darlene Shiley came to the university when I was alumni director. Her husband Donald was one of our distinguished alums, and I made contact with her, Sky Blue, picked the phone up, she answered, we started a conversation, and from that moment on, it was just, she became a friend. After he had passed, Darlene wanted to do something with his name, and now it's the Donald P. Shiley School of Engineering.
A number of people will remember John and Patricia Beckman. Bill would always reserve a parking space for them. He would take John's wheelchair out of the trunk of the car. He would get John in the wheelchair. He would get John and Patricia settled in whatever dinner, luncheon, function that they were attending. And then at the conclusion of the event, he would reverse the process. John and Patricia generously endowed a scholarship in honor of Bill.
But see, isn't that pretty? This has gone through all the storms, ice storms, snowstorms, and still stays. When I was a student, there was no gate here. We just would walk right off the bluff and go down. But going down right here, there is the P that was made by the Sigma Tau Omega fraternity. We would go down on a regular basis and paint it and clear it, always coming back with tons of poison oak.
Every year for the past number of years, graduation weekend has always been on Derby Day. Bill knew that I would not want to miss the Derby, so Bill would always make arrangements for me to have access to a television set where I could watch the Derby. I would have my mint julep. I would listen to them sing My Old Kentucky Home as the horses were brought onto the track, shed my tear, and watch the Derby and then be ready to go to the next university event.
I've done 28 commencements each year. I get the opportunity of watching these young men and women come across stage. And for me, that is a highlight of every year, is to see commencement. Next would be reunions. My very first year at the university to right now, I've been involved with 34 reunions. I love going to reunion. I get to reconnect with people. I spend probably more time than I should just sitting in a tent and talking to people as opposed to doing my job. But you know, hopefully that's part of my job, is talking to people.
If you can be unflappable, engage, be of calm temperament, I'm telling you, you got it all. Bill Reed has it all.
For me, going through the whole anatomy of building an event, it's worry, it's worry, it's worry. But once it gets done and you're walking away from it that Sunday afternoon after everything's done, you get this adrenaline high that you just can't find anywhere else. You look good. Thank you for being who you are.
He mirrors the mission by the way he conducts himself.
The tradition of Holy Cross and the tradition of the university together make us unique and make us who we are. I'm just very proud of that. I'm also very proud the university has continued to grow. And I'm also just so proud of the faculty we have here. The workers at this place are so unique. They have bought into the mission. They give her their time, they give her their talents, and they make us a better place.
Bill is an individual that when you meet him, you are the most important person to him.
Susan works in our office. She's an Etzel. There's a couple Etzels who went to school here, one in particular who went to school here and played baseball, and then he stayed with us for a long time. Philip and Nathan here. Nathan is in charge of the rock wall, but many, many, many other things in the Beauchamp Center. And Philip is with the women's tennis team. He's an assistant coach. Nick's claim to fame is his father, Stephen. I was his 7th grade teacher back a couple years ago. And Stephen met Loretta Dyke, who now is Loretta, your mother. And Loretta now teaches here in the School of Nursing. Dan came here probably 7 years ago now?
It's 5 now.
5 years. Oh my goodness. I'm
5 in March.
adding 5 in March. Dan came in as a manager of the building in a sense. He's worked his way up. He now works for athletics directly. He's in charge of all their operations. And I know Father Bill Hund, he's been here a little bit longer than I. 71. I graduated in 72, so we were together on campus for 1 year. And I've run into my cousin, not really my cousin, but we talk about being cousins on a regular basis. Lisa Reed, she spells the name the correct way. We're looking for Kenny. Oh, Kenny, come here. Here's Kenny. So Kenny, let's come down here. Kenny's a graduating senior this year. And Kenny's claim to fame and my claim to fame is my mother was Kenny's aide in kindergarten. Down the way was my daughter had her first look with her now husband. My wife and I said I love each other right here. So this whole Bluff area for me has always been a very special place for me to come to. And I sometimes just walk over here by myself, just kind of wander around and remember. So it's a lot of stories, a lot of history.
I think his legacy will be summed up in one word: goodness.